Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and today what I will be discussing is still the blow-by of the Nissan Navara. So I got Nissan Navara Pro 4X 2024. Basically, this is a one-year-old car. Anyway, so the reason why I'm trying to create this content is because I received a notification that someone shared my YouTube content regarding the original blow-by post, and I tried to reach him out asking him, I'm just curious, why did you share my post? Is there any issue with your Navara? So maybe I can help. So here's the situation. Um, so basically, he's selling his Navara, and I'm not sure the age of his Navara. And an agent reached him out trying to buy his car. And then the agent keeps on telling him that the Navara has a blow by and there's an issue. And when they did a test drive, the agent, again, this agent is the middleman for the buyer, um, noticed that the acceleration, or basically in general, the Navara is slow. I don't know how did he notice that, but yeah, I'll explain this further. So watch this video until the end. So first, let's start my um, Nissan Navara. So the mileage here is, I think the mileage of my car is in total is 26,000, sorry, 34,800. Okay, so one second. All right, so as you can see right here, the engine runs smoothly. Okay, there's no excessive vibrations, and I maintain this car very, very strictly or nicely. So let me just try and find my flashlight. Okay, so this is the blow by the agent is referring to. Not sure if you can see it, but as you can see, there's a white smoke and the oil is kind of trying to go out bit by bit. Okay, so that's the first issue. Okay, and then when you try to remove the dipstick and there's a blow by on the dipstick, there's no visible smoke and there shouldn't be a visible smoke. But if you remove the dipstick totally, you will see oils trying to come out and spit it will try to spit it out a little bit, and it will drop to the air filter box. So again, let's answer that question. Is it normal or that kind of blow by and the oil is trying to come out when you remove the cap for this Nissan Navara and different types of Nissan Navara? Okay. I think it's normal, and I believe it's normal for this kind of engine. My 2019 Nissan Navara, which I sold a year ago, also does this. Okay. So just to give you a quick overview, because I'm meticulous when it comes to taking care of my car, I actually bought injectors worth 39,875 each, because I thought that blow-by is actually um, an issue. Okay, so don't do that. Don't repeat the mistake that I have taken. So I learned the lesson the hard way. Um, and the issue is just my injectors though are already clogged because I used replacement fuel filter before, and I learned my lesson the hard way. But if you are thinking that this kind of blow by is an issue, no, it is normal for the Nissan Navara. Is it normal for other types of diesel engines? No, I don't think Toyota, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think that Toyota Hiace, which my older sister has, that has this kind of blow by. So different types of engines have different type of clearances when it comes to their piston rings. So all of the engines have blow by? Yes. Okay, but their volume is different, because if you will not allow some kind of that blow by excess gases from the cylinder to escape, it can break your piston rings, and it is by design. Okay, so and also the reason, if you guys are thinking that why does the old engines doesn't have that kind of blow by, and these Old engines like 2000 and earlier engines, diesel engines, doesn't have this kind of blow-by. So let me explain that to you. So as you can see, this hose right there connected to the cover of the engine, okay, right there. This one, if you will uh, see this hose, where does it go? Okay, this one. Okay, let me just put it here. This hose right there. So this is coming from the engine cover and it goes right to the intake. Okay, so that's the filter, the air filter box right there. Okay, and it sucks the air from the atmosphere, and then it goes here, and the air is being compressed by the turbo. And remember that excess unburned um, blow-by gases is also being sucked when you rev up your engines. And then that pressure inside your crankcase will be sucked by the turbo. Okay, so that smoke also contains oil moisture that somewhat lubricates your intake turbo turbine outside. Okay, so if you remove this hose, you will notice that the turbo blades right here is a little bit wet. um, it is a little bit wet and lubricated by those the fumes included on that blow-by gases. Okay, so to answer that question again, it is by design. The Nissan Navara designed this specific engine, okay, to follow this. You can see this DNR sticker, okay? So this certifies your car that it actually follows the emission compliance in our country, in the Philippines. But maybe it's a different case in your country. So in older engines, this hose right here is unplugged. This one, and it is a little bit longer and it goes down to the lower part of the engine. So on the older engines, you are letting those exhaust gas from the cover from the engine itself to be spitted out outside the atmosphere. But that is really harmful for the environment. So, make sense? So I hope this video is starting to make sense, and I hope I was able to explain to you why your car have this kind of blow by, and why I'm trying to tell you that this is actually normal. Okay, so when is the blow by excessive? Okay, so the blow by will be excessive only if you will see a continuous smoke coming from your dipstick. Okay, if you can see a very very high volume of smoke coming from the dipstick, I think that is no longer normal. And also there will be signs. Check engine could be one of the sign, but it is not always the case. Sometimes you will be on limp mode but without check engine. I think some cars does that. When I say limp mode, your RPM will be stuck to 3000 RPM no matter what kind of pressure you put on the gas pedal. Um, and also a lot less of power. But it's a bit tricky though. Sometimes the issue is the EGR is already dirty, so you have to consider cleaning your EGR first and maybe turbo and intake before concluding that the problem is the blow-by. So it is like diagnosing the health of a person. You have to overrule few things before you conclude. Okay? So we can't outsmart these engineers. They know these things. They designed these engines in purpose, by its purpose. And to answer that another question from my statement earlier, from the intro of this video, again, I know who you are. I don't know who you are, but they said that you are an agent. And you keep on telling the seller that this car, Nissan Navara, is really slow, and that's an issue. Actually, let's just use our common sense. the engineers of the Nissan Navara or any pickup trucks, they didn't discuss to build a pickup truck that will be super fast. That's not the main goal. This is a utility vehicle. It is designed to carry heavy loads. Okay? Sometimes they carry, I don't know, um, up to one ton, depending on the rating of your truck bed. So just use your common sense. They didn't build this pickup truck to go into the race, and you can modify it though, and you use it for racing. So yeah, and also to just an honest review about this Nissan Navara. The gear ratio of the first and second gear is a little bit slow, okay? But it is torquey. When I say torquey, it has a lot of torque in it. So it was designed to um, not put any stress or less stress to the transmission while it is on the first and second gear. And you will notice Nissan Navara speeds up on the third gear because that gear is somewhat a high-speed gear. The high-speed ratio starts on that third gear. Okay? And I think Navara owners here would agree. So if you have any insight, any comments, or maybe you think I'm wrong on some of my statements, please leave the comments on the comment section and let's discuss it further.